it's Valentine's Day this week in Singapore, with the hot weather and everything. Maybe one potential Valentine's Day gift is a fan. Nowadays, the problem about fans is that, sometimes fans can be pretty noisy. So might I suggest a quiet fan? Liverpool fans and Chelsea fans are pretty quiet nowadays. Robin, Chelsea fan, Liverpool fan, Imran are two pretty good examples. Not quite so Newcastle fan, Manjun. Myself, I'm a Fulham fan. We can start, of course, with this week, match week 24, where Arsenal are at home against Manchester City. Potential title decider, this one, although unfortunately both sides not exactly going into this in very good form. Arsenal did lose 1-0 to Everton the previous week and drew 1-1 with Brentford just this past weekend. So it's the first time that Arsenal have not won in back-to-back games. Man City also themselves, fresh from a 1-0 defeat to Spurs. Of course, they bounced back with a 3-1 win over Aston Villa. We'll start with Robin for this one. Arsenal, maybe you can say a few title jitters getting into it already.
Seems like it, but I didn't watch them play, so I can't really tell. And if I'm not wrong, this recent draw against Brentford, like they were done by VAR, right? So a bit hard to say. The old narrative is that yes, this could be the start of the slip up. Took a little longer than post-Christmas, but it's coming. Don't know, leh. Hard to say, because City also not very fluid at the moment. Although they did just win 3-1. Yeah. So I really don't know, leh. It could go either way. But I wouldn't call this a title decider yet. Because these two teams are not so hot that they will just run away with it after winning this match. I think there will still be more slip-ups along the way.
But Erling Haaland hasn't scored in the past 2 games already. Overrated.
Yeah, Man U 2 points behind Man City with 1 extra game played.
So you're saying it's not a title decider because there's a third party involved? Huh?
No lah. Not a title decider just because technically it's just a bit after the halfway mark only. And both of the top sides still relatively close.
Okay.
Right. Even in previous seasons also, like the Liverpool versus Man City games, whenever it was neck to neck, was never a title decider so early. And then both sides sort of just don't want to lose to each other, They don't really care about winning.
Yeah, because you always draw.
Can you really say Man City are favourites for this game? It's at Arsenal.
I mean, why though? I mean, like
according to the odds, Man City are favourites for this game.
I mean, I guess you can say that. I mean, in a way, big games you would expect to be more experienced in this. Right? I don't think the youngsters at Arsenal they actually went in have like a title deciding game before. So maybe experience rules out. But not sure this one. Yeah, like I don't think it's a title deciding game because form quite shit. Honestly, I don't think any team in the league has like sustained any good format or any consistent form besides Southampton keep losing. Other than that,
I guess that's considered form also.
Hey, got Brighton, very strong.
Oh yeah, Brighton. But too far already. Yeah, I think I agree with it. I agree with England. Probably nothing. Whoever wins also, even Arsenal wins also probably shouldn't really matter that much.
Okay, but can you say either way, say if it's an Arsenal win, people are going to look back on this game as a pivotal, okay, this is like setting down a marker. This is when Arsenal really took the title race into their own hands kind of thing. Conversely, if Man City wins, the same thing also. You can say, this is when they finally overtook Arsenal. Like in seasons past, when Liverpool have built up a lead and then Man City beat them and then suddenly momentum shift. Like this game, even though midweek, I don't know how many people will stay up and watch. It is still a pretty big game in the sense that, if we are talking about a 2-horse race, this is now seeing the 2 horses against each other. Have to ask Robin, which side do you think you would rather be going into this?
Would I rather be? Wow. I think I'd rather be City. I think it's easier. I think mentality-wise, it's easier to chase and hunt down the top than to try and keep your lead up there. Plus, wait, who's the one with the game in hand?
Arsenal with the game in hand.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think it's easier to chase and hunt down the leaders. There's always that, I don't know, you call it underdog mentality in a way. Although they're Man City, right? But it's much more pressurizing to be at the top and you feel like you got more to lose. So I think the pressure could get to Arsenal, especially they are relatively inexperienced.
Okay. I guess maybe obviously Liverpool are not in the title race this season, but tapping into Imran's experience in watching title races before, more often than not, Liverpool are the ones chasing Man City. I think maybe would you prefer to be in the lead, and then it's totally on you to keep that lead?
I mean, obviously you rather be the lead lah. Who don't want to be the lead? You can't be like, hey, too much pressure lah. We just gonna overtake you in the last game or what? Obviously, you rather be in the lead, but also like that's the thing. The lead doesn't mean anything at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like obviously it's better, but it doesn't. I mean, it's not gonna. There's still gonna be a lot of twists and turns along the way, and yeah, and like you said just now, this is obviously a big game. Even if it's not a title decider, but it's potentially also like one of the bigger games of the season, just because it's the top two teams going at it, right? And they're only 3 points apart. So, and there have been a few. Is it a few, or is it like just that one season where Liverpool lost to Man City and then we just went on to lose the title by 1 point just because of that game? It was I think so. It was like in January. Then it's the one with the Sadio Mane, the goal like almost go past the line, then never go past one. Oh, then we lost like 0 point something mm. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, so I can totally see it going the other way also. And yeah, if you give Man City like a bit of chance only, they're just gonna accelerate it. Yeah.
From their form, it doesn't really look like they are the Man City of old. So I guess some people are saying that somehow even with Erling Haaland, they kind of look like a worse team than last season.
I feel like the people are saying how maybe because of Haaland, then they are a bit weaker because they can't really play that much possession, I guess, because you don't have like the false nine that comes back to support the midfield. But I'm trying to think back to when Man City played with Aguero. He's also a proper number 9, right? So like can't really say like that's the cause of their defeat. I feel like it's more of their defense this time around. Defense always chapalang. It's like always Nathan Ake and like some random dude, Akanji. Yeah, so I think both of them still relatively unproven and not very solid. So I think that may be their problem instead. And their midfield also, like their holding midfield now is Rodri, still Rodri. Yeah, I don't know, like no more Fernandinho, then that's it.
Yeah, but I think it's been Rodri for I think last season also. But I think the difference, maybe you're right, is still the centre backs. Against Aston Villa, their 3-1 win was only the second time then that Laporte and Ruben Dias have played together this season. So going into the Arsenal game, maybe that might be the game changer. Who knows? Nathan Ake and Akanji not exactly centre backs that will give you a lot of confidence. Although I guess you can say they're still second on the table. I think we can start with the predictions. We start with Manjun first.
Okay, I want things to be interesting lah. By interesting, I mean maybe Man U can sneak in a bit in this title race. Who fucking knows? I'll go for 1-1 lah.
Okay, that would, I guess, a draw would let Man U into the title race. Robin.
I'll go for the interesting in the sense that we will continue to test Arsenal's mentality. So I'll go for Man City 2-1.
Okay. Imran.
I want to go for Man City 2-1 also, just because it'll keep things tight at the top, right? Don't want to see the
I
gap.
suppose. Yeah.
But Arsenal's been really good this season, and so I don't know whether their blip now is like a downhill in form or just like a minor blip, right? So okay lah. I still have faith in Man City. They freaking chase us for how many seasons already? If they don't do it this season, Kelong. They see like Liverpool, then they freaking chase us like some dog like that. Then now it's like it's just Arsenal. Like they can do it. So Man City 3-1.
Never thought you'd see this day. A Liverpool fan will be cheering on Man City. I'm going to go different from everyone else. I'm going to say Arsenal to win 2-1 against Man City. Not necessarily that would mean Arsenal win the title, but I think that would I think the home crowd will make a difference. I think it's made a difference before. The game against Brentford, Arsenal played quite well, although I think defensively they did give Brentford quite a lot of problems. And Brentford are actually in pretty good form also. Brentford unbeaten in 10. That's something that quite a lot of teams can't really say. But who knows? Of course, Arsenal fans, the consolation is that, maybe in 10 years' time, even if you don't win the title, maybe you will win it by default if Man City get punished by financial
No.
fair play rules. Well, but Spurs' record against Man City are a bit ridiculous, to be honest. It's their 5th straight win against Man City.
Yeah, they can always win, eh?
Yeah. What's happening here? It's like the boogie
Don't
team.
know. Yeah, it is like
Yeah.
really like bogey team. Yeah, like Spurs so out of form still can beat Man City also.
Confirm is bad one. He always get beaten by the club a few times, right? Then he get into his own head. And then he start doing weird shit with the team.
That's true. So the key is to start just win one game can already.
Yeah, you have to get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Although interesting about this bogey team though, because Arteta has lost all 3 of his games at Goodison Park.
Yeah, he got a soft spot for his old team.
That's true. He's more of an Everton legend than an Arsenal legend.
Yeah. Maybe it's like not it's a subconscious thing, you know. When he's setting them up, then it's like
You just go soft on that.
set my team up like that. It's a bit weak, but never mind. If Everton win, also a win
Then
for me.
okay lah, also can.
Yeah, also
Secret
can.
Everton fan.
I said I rest players. The players will be fresher in the next game.
You know, can spare a few points, it's okay.